another thing, Master. Have you caught the villain who wanted to kill me?
No, I haven't. I didn't catch the villain who wanted to kill you. He got away between the brush and the steep twists of the path.
But why?
I don't know. Not yet, I don't. But I suspect we'll find out soon enough. Fair enough. It's late. Let's head for the Abbey. That's the bell which announces to the brother acting as gatekeeper that someone is waiting outside the door. This is Bruno, my novice. These gates guard one of the most eminent and enigmatic abbeys in the kingdom. The impregnability of its library is legendary, both for those who might seek to destroy it and for those who merely wish to study it. These gates guard one of the most eminent and enigmatic abbeys in the kingdom. The impregnability of its library is legendary, both for those who might seek to destroy it and for those who merely wish to study it. This rope is attached to the bell. This rope is attached to the bell. This rope is attached to the bell.
We have been impatiently awaiting your arrival, Brother Leonardo.
We had a little accident.
The path is filled with danger, brother, not only due to the difficult lay of the land, but because on nights like these, robbers and thieves have the perfect conditions to commit their evil deeds.
Take a good look at us, brother.
Egidio.
What loot could they hope for from poor monks like us?
The horse and the donkey.
Did anyone leave the Abbey last night?
The compline prayers are already over with and everyone's asleep, brother. You'll notice during your stay just how strict the schedule is at our Abbey.
I sincerely regret the delay, brother.
It's all the same to me. I have explicit orders from the abbot to wait at the gate to welcome you, even if that means spending the whole time out here on a devilish night like this. Come in. Come in. I'll take you to your cell so that you can lie down. You can see the abbot tomorrow.
Brother Leonardo, it is an honor for this humble abbey to be allowed to welcome you.
Father Abbot, if the honor is as great as your modesty, I don't think I deserve it. This is Bruno, the son of the Count of Capra Negra.
Where were we? Ah, yes, the young man who would like to be initiated into our abbey.
Father?
We have brought a gift from the Count. A gift? What is it? What is it?
A book that shows the Count's interest in...
No, a book. I think I get the point. He's very interested in seeing his son have a successful career with the church.
Father, These days, a book can be a great treasure.
Brother Leonardo, as with many others, news of your wisdom and perception has reached my ears as well. As there is a matter which does worry me, I would very much like to discuss it with you.
Does that have something to do with the demise of your former gatekeeper?
But how?
I just spied Aegidius walking towards the cemetery with a wooden cross on a cart. I put two and two together and deduced that a monk must have died recently. And as Aegidius was the one who waited for us last night, and the duties of a gatekeeper normally have nothing to do with those of a gravedigger, it's only logical that the deceased must be the gatekeeper.
But why do you suspect that something curious is attached to that death?
An accident wouldn't make you uneasy, and if the situation dealt with a suicide, you wouldn't bury him in consecrated soil.
Impressive!
Although, that's not all you should be worried about.
What do you mean by that?
Yesterday we were attacked by a monk, and there aren't too many monasteries around here.
I regret any such incident, but I'm sure that your eyes and the dearth of light caused illusions that deceived you. Once the prayers for Compline have been said, the monks are not allowed to leave the abbey.
Is that right?
All of the doors are locked tight, and the only ones who don't sleep in the Artificium, where the monks' cells are the brother gatekeeper and myself.
Fair enough, but I'll still be on my guard. Rather than finding out who did it, I'd say it would be much more interesting to find out why they did it.
Well, I see that word of your fame is more than just idle talk.
Father.
Brother Leonardo, running an abbey is no simple task, and in times like these, preserving the righteous faith of the community is even more difficult. Day by day, the people become less God-fearing, and the devil sows his seeds on the fertile soil of doubt and fear.
Are you trying to say that ignorance is a virtue?
Knowledge can be a devastating temptation, too. Especially in an abbey like ours. A fortress of wisdom and knowledge.
And like any fortress, it does have its cracks.
As you know, the archives of our library hold ancient and extremely rare copies of the most important writings of Christianity. Bibles, epistles from many saints, scriptures from significant blessed figures, written down to enhance the love of our Lord. It is our duty to preserve these precious books. And that's why access is denied to everyone except the librarian and his assistant.
Does that mean you think the gatekeeper's death points to the library?
There are rumors that strange things are going on in the library.
What kind of rumors?
The servants and common folk put faith in those kinds of superstition. They lack the necessary understanding to illuminate events concealed in the darkness of sin with the light of knowledge.
But it's obvious that we are presently not talking about rumors being spread by illiterates. What incidents?
Happenings of a supernatural nature. Who would doubt that a monastery is the best place to corrupt untainted souls? Perhaps evil is lurking like a predator after its prey.
And what do you think about that?
If a shepherd is told that a wolf is on the prowl, wouldn't he gather his flock and stand guard? Whatever I think is beside the point, but the monks are uneasy, and after Anselmo's death, all the more so.
So you want me to look into those rumors?
I'd like you to use your perceptive mind to find an explanation, as perceptive as you can be, and as discreetly as you can be.
Fair enough.
We thank you, Brother Leonardo.
But I will need something. I must be able to question the Brotherhood without restrictions.
As long as it doesn't disturb the Brothers' work, they will be glad to help you.
I thank you. Please exempt me from taking part at Mass.
In a battle like this, I'm not sure.
At Mass.
In a battle like hour of prayer at your side.
I am grateful for your concern, Father. But if there's one place at this monastery where I certainly won't find any demons, then it's the church.
All right, as you wish.
I need permission to enter the library.
But the rule is very strict with regard to this. No one is allowed to go.
If everything points to the library and strange things are happening, don't you think it could help me to find out the truth if I were allowed to go in there?
I am sure you'll find a way. Lucifer already roams freely about the Abbey. There is no need for you to do so as well.
A wise man once said, "Find the leaf, and ye shall find the fruits of the earth beneath it."
Brother Leonardo, this is Segundo, our prior.
Brother?
Brother Leonardo, the responsibility I bear demands that I not only keep the faith of this monastery, but that I safeguard its treasures too. The rules that forbid entry to the library serves that purpose. I cannot permit people to walk in and out as if it were a marketplace.
But
your mission is to investigate the death of Anselmo the gatekeeper, and to find the signs of the devil in this matter.
then please excuse me, Father. I have a job to do. Nothing interesting? Not even a trace of some evidence. Saint Torquato, a bishop and martyr from the 1st century. This church is dedicated to him. He was a famous missionary. children born in the course of a year are baptized here. Here is where one enters the chapter hall. Here is where one enters the chapter hall. It's locked. No one will be inside. This is the way down to the crypt. It's been locked with a key. This is the way down to the crypt. Beech. Due to the grain and colour, I'd say it came from the beechwood forest near the valley. And when I take a good look at the way the carving was done, it has all the marks of a left-handed carpenter, someone between 38 and 39 years old. Good day to you, brother. Good day to you, brother.
All right already. I'm old, but I'm not deaf.
Then why didn't you reply?
These young people, always in a hurry. I don't know what you want, youngster, but I doubt it's as urgent as caring for Clotilde. You're not wilting, she is.
You call a plant Clotilde?
Yes. Do you have any objection to that, young man?
None at all, brother. However, it does seem unusual to me that you're giving a plant a name.
I see you don't know much about plants. They can listen and even talk. Watch this. Greet the guests, Clotilde. Good, good. She's a bit shy, you know.
I can see that.
Whatever. What do you want from an old man like me, brother?
My name is Leonardo de Toledo. And you are?
De Toledo, eh? How do things look in France nowadays?
No, Toledo is not in France.
Honest, it's not? What a shame.
Now, yes, right. As I see, you're the gardener.
Very observant of you, young man. Correct. I am Brother Arcadio, and as you can see, I take care of the plants at the Abbey. This garden is flourishing, and I planted it. The region is rather dark. We only get a few hours of sunlight here. That's why I try to spread a bit of joy around the place.
You've truly done good work, brother.
I have, haven't I?
Have you been at the Abbey long?
Me? Yes, my whole life. One rainy night I was left at the entrance to the monastery when I was no more than a babe. It's been my home since then.
Oh.
Hang on. Or was I already a young man when I first became a seminarian? I don't remember anymore. Oh well, it's not important either. I like the other story better anyway.
If you've been staying here for so long, then you'll know quite a bit about the Abbey.
Yes, the problem is remembering. My memory is not what it used to be, though it was never very good. I recall that there was once... no, to be honest, I don't remember at all.
Do you know if a death similar to that of Brother Anselmo's has ever occurred in the history of the Abbey?
Why do you ask, brother?
Just asking. But if an accident like the one Brother Anselmo had ever happened in the past, then there might be a connection between the two.
A connection? No, I don't really. Censors don't make a habit of falling on people's heads with us. I would remember that. At least I think I would. Poor Clotilde. Her leaves are not what they used to be anymore, either.
Do you recall any cases of crime at the Abbey?
Yes.
Yes?
We once had a cook who nearly did us in. His best dish smelled like musty bog mud and tasted even worse. Thank the Lord he became a missionary. One day he announced that he was going on a pilgrimage to the Orient to feed the poor children.
Now that's courage for you.
Yes, one needs courage for that. As if they didn't have enough troubles already. Anyway, we have a new cook now. Have you tried any of his dishes yet? They're magnificent. The only thing is, I just can't seem to remember his name.
I have no more questions.
It's probably better that way. Then I don't need to put so much strain on my memory. We're too old for that by now, aren't we, Clotilde?
What can you tell me about the gatekeeper's death?
Gatekeeper? We never had a gatekeeper here. Someone has given you the wrong information, brother.
But Anselmo?
Poor Anselmo. His death was a hard blow to the monastery. As for the gatekeeper, I'm afraid I can't help you there. Could it be that you've got your abbeys confused, young man?
Do you know what he died of?
Yes. A censer fell and hit him on the head. That must have been painful.
Do you think Anselmo's death was peculiar?
Peculiar? Peculiar? Did you hear that, Clotilde? Could be that this young man knows what you and I know.
What are you referring to?
Don't interrupt me. I'm talking to Clotilde. Yes? Perchance he learned about something that has to do with Brother Anselmo's death from you. What did you say? We should tell him. Are you sure? No. Whatever you say, Clotilde.
Who was it who let Clotilde wither away?
Quiet down. Be quiet. Clotilde can hear you and doesn't want that known. She's afraid. I understand that. She's defenseless.
But what are you talking about?
What were you thinking, Clotilde? It's all right now? Or why not before? Ah, you don't trust this young man. Why not? Yes, quite lively. Just as it should be, but certainly friendly and polite enough. Ah, the little boy.
What is Clotilde saying?
Clotilde says she may only confide our secret to the boy accompanying you.
Master?
Come closer, my child. So now you know it. Don't tell a soul. It's a secret.
The plant didn't say a thing.
Oh, is that right? How odd. Why do you say it was such a hard blow to the Abbey?
The death of a brother is always hard, especially when the person involved is so young. The Lord shouldn't come for us before our time. Isn't that right, Clotilde?
I have no more questions about Anselmo.
Excellent. We'll let Anselmo rest in peace. He's earned it.
I would like to talk to Clotilde.
I believe your presence is intimidating her, brother.
I think I could get her to trust me.
Truly, I hope so. Not a bad idea. It would be good if she talked with someone else besides me. New friends would be good for her.
Fair enough. With your permission... She had something quite interesting to say.
You mean that about the demon living here at the Abbey, don't you?
Demon? Yes, that's it.
What else did she say?
What this demon has done.
Oh, yes. Clotilde knows of it. Of course she does. She owes her sorry state to him. The devil let her wither away. But she wasn't the first to succumb to the devil. No, gentlemen. And she won't be the last either.
What do you mean by that?
The devil abides in these walls now. A good place for him, isn't it? A high cliff with no opportunities to escape. It's clever, very clever. We're all going to die, one after the other. Oh, yes, and the boy shall be the first.
Brother, please.
I see fear in his eyes. The devil always begins with them. You know that, don't you? First the weak, and then...
I think that's enough.
Whatever you say. But one must always remain vigilant. Beware, mind you. He never takes his eyes off you. Oh yes, you never leave his sight.
I'll let you work in peace. Thank you for your time.
All right, it doesn't matter. Poor Clotilde.
I don't see anything special. I haven't slept so peacefully at an abbey since I was in San Rodrigo. Here is where Bruno sleeps. Nothing interesting? The cells all look identical. The door is locked. The cells all look identical. 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 The door is locked. The cells all look identical. The cells all look identical. Brother,
Yes?
I see you're keeping an eye on our mounts.
The abbot's orders. I have to clean and groom your horse every day during your stay here. It seems that you're a very illustrious guest and must be treated accordingly. That means if there's anything I can do for you...
Much obliged, but I managed to wash all by myself this morning. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the mystery surrounding Anselmo's death.
Mystery? There's no mystery. A frankincense censer weighing 200 pounds fell on his head. If I'm not mistaken, accidents like that are fatal.
Didn't you ask yourself if maybe it wasn't an accident?
I don't ask. I thought questions were what you do.
Right you are, but you're forgetting that you must answer them.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I didn't ask myself if it wasn't an accident. Satisfied?
You seem to be quite sure of yourself.
Indeed, I'm sure.
The certainty in your reply. What is it based on?
My what? Brother, there are other monks at this abbey who speak Latin much better than I do. Please remember that I'm a simple grave digger. Gatekeeper, groom. Oh, I don't know myself anymore.
What I want to say is, why do you believe that Anselmo's death was an accident?
I was there.
Beg your pardon?
I was one of those holding the rope for the censer together with Nicholas and Gottfried. We had just fixed the rope in place and were wondering if the height was right when it suddenly split apart. Anselmo and the abbot were underneath the censer, but Anselmo didn't get away in time. As you can plainly see, if there's anyone to blame for all this, then it's a rotten rope.
Where is the murder weapon? What I want to say is about the accident.
Back there. It was taken here since there was no room for the repairs in the smithy.
We're leaving. Are you going to be nearby?
I hope not.
I hope his energy is replenished during our stay at the Abbey. It's going to be needed for the journey back. Bruno holds him in high esteem, and I think the feeling is mutual. It could be that our presence disturbed him. Brother.
Yes?
I am Leonardo de Toledo. What's your name?
I'm Gottfried of Trentino.
It seems like you're a bit nervous.
Of course! You scared me half to death.
I'm sorry, brother. It wasn't my intention to startle you. Are you all right again?
Yes, nothing happened.
Were you hiding yourself?
Ooh, me?
That's the impression one gets. But it could also be that the columns of this building aren't as stable as they look. And that's why it needs a special support.
I was just resting a bit. Yes, that's right.
He's lying, Master. He wasn't resting.
Bruno! I beg you to forgive the boy. He's the new novice at your order. With time, I hope he achieves the stature all the other brothers at the Abbey have reached.
At the moment, the only stature he's achieved is with the size of his tongue.
Are you the librarian?
I'm not the librarian, just his assistant. The brother who takes care of the library is Marcello, the one over there. He can help you with anything you want. As you can see, I have a lot to do right now.
I'd love to look at the books you're carrying.
I'm sorry, but I must archive these books right away. Work just grows and grows.
So, is there an urgency for working with the books? I've heard a great deal about your famous Abbey library.
Yes, of course. These here are commonplace books. Dialogues, tracts on art, and several compilations of manuscripts. Nothing special.
No matter how commonplace they may be, as a rule, there is something interesting in each and every book. I've heard that you have some of the most beautiful copies here for safekeeping, and that they're being cared for excellently.
No! I mean to say, yes. Surely, if you'd like a special one, all you need is to say so, yes.
I'll make a note of that. May I ask you a few questions?
And my answer would be, I'd be delighted. But I have a great deal of work to do, so if you'll excuse me.
I have work to do too, at the abbot's bidding.
All right, but be brief.
According to what I've heard, you were one of the brothers who held the censer when Anselmo died.
Regretfully, yes. I had the misfortune to be there. A horrible sight. His body crushed by the gift from the abbot of San Nicodemo. His blood everywhere.
Spare yourself the details, brother. Just because I didn't see the body doesn't mean that I don't know what the fall of a large censer can do to a person. There. Do you believe that the censer crashing down was an accident?
I don't know. Nicholas, Egidio, and I were the only ones holding the censer. Oh!
What's happened?
The thought just occurred to me that perhaps it was all our fault.
In what way?
Oh, maybe Anselmo would still be alive if we had used a stronger rope. Oh, my God!
The abbot was there with Anselmo, wasn't he?
Oh, yes.
Could you hear what they were talking about?
I'm not sure, but if I remember correctly, I think that Anselmo told the abbot about the lights in the library.
Lights? What are you talking about?
Oh, they're there. You've just arrived, so you're not up to date on the rumors that have been circulating recently about the library here.
So that's what this is about. The abbot mentioned something to that effect, but he didn't want to go into detail.
I tell you, but I don't think the boy should hear anything about it.
And why not?
Well, what I'm going to say might give him nightmares.
He's old enough to cope with an allegedly disturbing story.
You know, it was only recently that from here you could see lights coming out of the library at night. Oh, and not only that, odd sounds were heard too.
Who saw them?
All you have to do is ask. Oh, yes, many claim to have seen the lights. Anselmo was one of them. You know who. He was the gatekeeper. That's why he was the last to go to bed.
Do you have some kind of theory about this?
Oh, and now the eerie part comes. I wanted to avoid having the child hear it. Many years ago, the librarian was found dead outside the edificium. Everything pointed to suicide, and as you yourself know, the Lord takes none to him who have forfeited the divine gift of life, which is why the librarian wasn't buried in the cemetery.
What does that have to do with the strange lights?
Don't you understand? It could be that it was the librarian's heartfelt wish to rest among his brothers in the cemetery. Therefore, his spirit shall wander eternally because he feels he has the right to rest near his brothers.
One moment. Are you telling me that a phantom is haunting the library?
Of course. What else could all that howling be that no one seems able to explain?
The howling of a soul that finds no peace.
Yes!
In that case, what do the lights mean?
That's the spirit's glowing aura.
Seriously, brother, do you truly believe what you're saying?
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, but I do believe there's some truth behind it. Lots of us do.
I have no more questions. Tell me about Anselmo.
Anselmo was a great monk. I wish I could have gotten to really know him.
Really know him?
Yes, all I mean is, how should I put it? I didn't know him well. He was very reserved, but there's no excuse for the lack of respect that the other brothers treated him with.
As I see, he wasn't very popular.
No, don't get me wrong. Anselmo was a well-read man and very intelligent. He fit perfectly into the Abbey, except that he wasn't very likable, and that irritated the others a lot. But that wasn't the reason why he was killed, was it?
Ah, so you believe that Anselmo was murdered?
No. What do you mean by that? I don't know, but that's why you're here, isn't it?
I'm here to cast light on the truth, whatever that may be. Do you think that harmony reigns among the brothers?
We all try to do our work the best we can.
I don't doubt that, and that's not why I'm asking either.
Then what do you mean?
I don't know. Did the brothers argue? Any particular incident?
Nothing to speak of. The usual, I'd say. A small complaint to the cook when the soup was served cold. A slight reprimand from Marcello when I was late with work.
I don't know. Could someone have a motive to carry out a dispute like that to the bitter end?
No! For heaven's sake, definitely not. This place of peace, our relationships are supposed to be based on mutual respect and practicing the gospel of our Lord.
Supposed to be? Is that perhaps not the case at all?
I didn't say that. I was referring to... Oh, well, you know what I mean.
That's all I wanted to know. For the moment, I'm sorry to have bothered you.
Don't mention it. But if you'll excuse me now, brother, I have a lot to do.
I've noticed that the brothers concentrate very hard on their work. They barely take a break. The librarian must be rather strict with them. Good day, brother.
Ah, Leonardo de Toledo, I presume.
And rightly.
Your reputation precedes you. I hope it's justified.
I hope so too. And you are?
Umberto from Lyon. At your service.
Are you busy?
It was long enough. I have a great deal to translate.
Oh, you're the translator.
You're as quick as a whip, brother. The Abbey's very lucky to have you, no doubt about that.
Which languages have you mastered?
Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, Coptic, Ancient Greek. Shall I continue?
No, no need for that. The list was impressive enough. The Abbey's very lucky to have you. The death of Brother Anselmo was truly calamitous.
A sad thing, yes.
Do you know anything about it?
A censer crushed him. What else is there to know?
His death could be the result of something suspicious.
I heard about that.
And what's your opinion?
My father died shortly after my birth when he was struck by lightning. It wasn't even stormy outside. That is strange. Not the fraying of a rope when it's supporting an enormous weight like that of a 200-pound censer. Accidents do happen.
Perhaps the devil had his hand in it.
The devil, eh? Is that the conclusion your investigation has reached?
It's the abbot's theory.
The abbots, eh?
What can you tell me about Anselmo?
Is it really necessary to talk about him? Can't we just let him rest in peace?
I'd just like to hear your opinion about him.
You're looking for suspects, I presume?
I'm hoping more not to find any.
All right. Anselmo. He was a good monk, a worker. Only he had this distinct arrogance about him. But we didn't say it to his face. And even less so now that he's dead, right? He was one more part of this abbey and contributed to the community with his work, like all of us, I presume.
Thank you for your information.
And well, if you say so. Anything else?
I'll let you work in peace. Goodbye.
Move away from the table, please.
What does it matter to you if...
Move away.
Papers filled with notations. It's merely a reproduction of Nuestra Señora de la Natividad.
Would you mind letting me work? I can't get a thing done with you tramping around here.
Welcome, brother. Are you a copyist?
No, I'm not a copyist.
That's what I thought. I beg you to come down from there. The scriptorium is exclusively for the copyists of our order.
You must be the librarian.
That's true. I am Brother Marcello, the librarian. You must be Brother Leonardo, the one who's not a copyist.
I must go into the scriptorium. I've been given a special mission.
I've been instructed regarding your mission, but no monk has died in my library, and that's because it's not provided for in the rules.
Rules? What rules?
The rules free us from always having to make the right decision. The rule states it clearly, so no one, except for the copyist of the order, is going to enter the scriptorium as long as I'm the librarian here.
Thank you for your time, brother. It's the librarian's assistant, Brother Gottfried.
What? Have you solved the mystery already?
Mystery? I thought Anselmo's death was an accident.
Well, yes. But are you sure?
If that were the case, then I wouldn't have to investigate any further. Don't you agree?
That sounds logical.
But now to our matter at hand. May I ask you a few questions?
All right. But be brief.
That's all I wanted to know. For the moment. Go on. You're doing excellent work.
Thank you.
Leonardo de Toledo.
Eladio from Thebes. It's been a long time.
Wow, you have grown old.
Yes, it's true. A few years have gone by. We're no longer the young seminarians who drank the communion wine when the rector wasn't looking.
Oh, that's true. I'd almost forgotten.
You haven't changed a bit in 20 years.
I certainly hope I have. 20 years ago, I still had acne.
And now you're a respectable monk.
I'm the doctor and specialist for herbs at the monastery. And who is this boy? Your servant?
I'm not his servant. I'm going to join your order and become a great monk, a very wise one, and a great scholar.
Goodness me, another one who wants to become pope. How boring. I'm sure that if I joined your order, I would have had more fun. And a servant.
I must go, Eladio.
All right. Come to the hospital later. We can carry on our conversation then and chat about old times.
You can be assured that I'll do that. I ask myself what Eladio keeps here.
Something dangerous. I mean, someone could take some medicine that wasn't meant for them and get sick. That's why he kept it under lock and key.
Look around you, Bruno. All these shelves are full of chemical substances. Wouldn't you consider them rather dangerous if an unknowing person ingested them?
I
ask myself what Eladio keeps here. Look around you, Bruno. It really was a surprise to run into Eladio at this abbey. Who would have thought that after all these years? Eladio.
Oh, Leonardo, my friend.
Quite well at the moment.
Is that right? Oh, well. Tomorrow you'll find all the answers, I'm sure of that. The way you always do.
You have to ask the right questions before you get the right answers.
Then ask away while we chat a bit, my friend.
What have you been up to?
Is that what you're talking about? Do you still remember the relaxing teas we used to drink after a hard day's work?
How could I ever forget them?
Then let me tell you that they've gotten that much better with time.
I'm glad to hear that your calling has borne fruits.
Yes, well, part of the fame goes to Martin, our cook. He knows quite a bit about plants too. I've learnt a lot from him. He's very good.
Is this infusion for you?
No, it's for the abbot. You've seen how relaxed he is. That's why I thought it would be a good idea to give him something for his nerves.
Eladio, Eladio, you're as altruistic as always.
Oh, yes, I am, aren't I?
Could we talk about Anselmo?
Back to work. Isn't that what it's called? Fair enough. We'll talk about Anselmo.
Did you have much contact with Anselmo?
Just the right amount. Sufficient, I'd say. I don't know how to put it. He wasn't exactly the friendliest monk in the whole order.
Anselmo's death arouses several points of suspicion.
What kind of suspicion?
How should I put it? The way he died was...
Strange.
That too, although selective was the word I was searching for.
Selective? I don't get it, my friend.
2 people were underneath the censer when it fell.
Sadly, Anselmo was the one to get hit. The abbot was lucky. Anselmo wasn't. Oh, get off it. It happened, that's all. Things like that happen now and then. Are you telling me you don't remember what happened to Father Macario?
If you don't mind, I'd rather not talk about Father Macario.
Whatever you say, but accidents like that do occur.
The abbot thinks the devil has something to do with Anselmo's death.
Stop beating around the bush. Evil is hanging over this abbey. Isn't that so?
Indeed it is. The devil.
Leonardo, you and I have travelled a lot. We've seen enough to know that the world doesn't need the devil to destroy itself. It's a very painful memory, but I had to cross a field full of dead bodies on the way to this monastery. I tried not to tread on amputated limbs and not step into the rivulets of blood. It's a grotesque and indecent spectacle I never hope to see again in my entire life. But believe you me, although the scene out there was worthy of one from hell, the hand of the devil had no part in it. It was mankind alone, man with his absurd wars.
In other words, in your opinion, the devil had nothing to do with Anselmo's death.
That's what I just said, my dear friend. In times like these, we should keep up more of a guard against our neighbours than against Satan himself. And besides, it doesn't make any sense to smash a poor monk's skull with a 200-pound censer, not even for the devil incarnate.
I have no more questions about Anselmo.
I have no more questions about Anselmo. Does that mean you're interrogating me?
You're my friend, but you're also a monk at this abbey. It's nothing personal.
Ah, well, in that case...
Do you know anything about the alleged phantom in the library?
Yes, the majority of the Brotherhood is pretty upset about it.
But you're not.
The only things that upset me are the phantoms people see after chewing on certain plants. Although...
Do you want to add something?
Anselmo claimed to have seen him a few times. We're not talking about some ignoramus. Anselmo was a well-educated person. I don't understand why he said those things.
Maybe he really did see him.
Do you think so?
I believe in the power of reason. Sometimes people see things that their minds want to see. Anselmo saw something in the library. Whether it was a ghost or not is of little significance at the moment. You must tell me everything, every bit to this day.
Though you too, my friend, you too.
Let's begin with you. I'm very curious. Are you still trying to change the world, old friend?
Blessed innocence, right?
Ah, so you don't think that's possible?
How about you?
Anything is possible.
Precisely. That was our motto as altar boys. But we're getting older, my dear friend, and we realize that there are far too many obstacles.
I understand you. Sometimes a monk's life is clearly too hard, with the many temptations around us.
No, that's not it. I'm not talking about temptations. I'm talking about us, the people.
I can see the direction your thoughts are headed towards, Eladio.
We're nothing more than poor ants who want to play at being the lion. We have the boldness, the gall, yet we're never going to be anything else but ants. It's disappointing to live in times like these, my friend. I hope that future generations will have more favourable opportunities than we had.
It's our duty to pave the way for them, Eladio.
Your duty, Leonardo. You were born for it. I wasn't.
I'm sorry to hear that you've lost your illusions, dear friend. Let's concentrate on the present, my friend.
And that without forgetting the past...
Without forgetting the past, naturally. I must go, Eladio.
What's the hurry?
I must serve the interests of the abbot. Please understand that.
Of course. I was only looking forward to talking some more with you.
We still have time left for that, my dear friend. Don't you worry. I don't think it's important. According to the legend, the Virgin Mary appeared at precisely this spot. Since then, there's been water beneath here, something which, in a purely physical sense, is utterly impossible where we are. The brothers must be very grateful to the Madonna. It would be an arduous grind for them to carry water up onto these cliffs. There's a saying where I come from. If the prior makes merry, then what are the monks up to? Brother?
Listen well, brother. I ask you to please conclude your investigation as rapidly as possible, because I'm not going to tolerate things like this at my abbey any longer. Was that sufficiently clear?
May I remind you that I stand under the abbot's command?
As do I. That's why I'm telling you.
Brother?
Listen well, brother.
May I remind...
As do I.
These are kegs of beer. I don't know which method of brewing is employed here, but I do know that hardly any other beer made can match up to the likes of the beer from Nuestra Señora de la Natividad. The barrels there are full of wine. That reminds me of the night we spent in the monastery of San Crispin on the way here. The abbot told me that the best wine in the region came from there. With an alembic, I can distill any kind of liquid. It's only logical that he's so busy. He cooks for the entire community. Forgive me for interrupting you, brother.
Oh, none other than our special guest. You're not interrupting me, Brother Leonardo. My name is Martin, and as you can see, I'm the cook. How can I help you?
The soup you're cooking there smells, if you'll pardon me, heavenly.
Really?
Yes, I see that you're adding chicken bones and some spices. Not everyone takes so much trouble with such a simple dish as soup.
Could be, but I do. And by the way, in this case, I must share the compliment with Brother Eladio. He supplies me with the spices.
The appearance and aroma are incomparable.
I see you appreciate good cooking.
What shall I say? I've traveled quite a bit.
It's a pleasure to talk with a connoisseur.
That's kind, but connoisseur would be a mouthful.
Oh, don't be so modest, brother. You recognized a decent soup by its fragrance. I presume that you're able to sniff out the spices that were used, too.
Saffron?
Saffron? No, brother. Take a good look at the color, then you'll realize your mistake. One can tell you're no plant expert.
I'd guess a bit of cinnamon and nutmeg.
Oh, no. I use both cinnamon and nutmeg for several desserts, but it would never occur to me to put them in a soup. If you truly had a grasp of the material, you'd know that that's nonsense.
Clear as day. Pepper.
In one of my soups? Out of the question. And besides, I have to be very careful with pepper, because too much doesn't agree with either Egidio or Marcello. With so many brothers, I can't cook for each one of them.
Parsley?
You're getting closer, but no. The modesty you displayed before was justified.
I don't know. Croutons?
Yes, indeed. I added a few bits of bread I'd left over from yesterday, but you're not going to confuse bread with spices, are you?
No.
Perish forbid!
I'd say the scent of clove and anise is unmistakable.
That would be right if the soup had those two spices, but it doesn't. A pity, Brother Leonardo, but I see that you don't know much about seasonings.
Ginger. What else could it be?
Perhaps every other sort of spice, except for this one.
My sense of smell is not up to snuff today.
Really?
Can we talk about Anselmo, brother?
Anselmo? Oh, blessed Mother of God! Salve Regina, Mater Misericordiae, vita dulcedo et spes nostra salve. Ad te clamamus exsulses filii Hevae. Ad te suspirarnos, gementes et fientes, in hac lacrimarum valle. Ea ergo advocata nostra, illos tuos misericordes oculos ad nos converte. Et Iesum benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis post hoc exilium ostende. O clemens, O Pia, O Dulcis Virgo Maria, ora pro nobis sancta Dei genitrix?
Once this digression is done with, can we talk about Anselmo?
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. It's never wrong to appeal to our Virgin to shield us from evil, especially in these days of ours.
Perfectly understandable, brother. But it is my intention to fulfill the task the abbot entrusted me with, and that as quickly as possible, especially in these days of ours.
Yes, of course.
Do you know all the details surrounding Anselmo's death?
Unfortunately, yes. I wouldn't have thought that such a beautiful and costly gift would bring misfortune to our abbey.
A somewhat delicate question. Do you think that a brother could have anything to do with the gatekeeper's death?
No! How dare you insinuate something like that?
The question doesn't necessarily reflect my opinion, but it would be very imprudent of me not to look into it.
That's impossible. The brothers are all different, but we're here for the same reasons. One of those is respect for one another, and the other is our dedication to God and His teachings. He has taught us to value life, both ours and that of our neighbors. How could a monk do such a terrible thing?
Envy?
That's no excuse. Heaven is my witness it's not so. As I already said, this is a place of peace and harmony. I'd swear on a stack of Bibles that no brother would ever do anything like that.
It's rumored that the devil had something to do with Anselmo's death. What's your opinion?
Speak softly, brother. Speak softly.
What's wrong?
Try not to mention the devil. That might lure him here.
Here? To the Abbey?
No, into the kitchen. The devil already abides within these walls. The signs are clear, and Anselmo's death is a good example of that.
I see you're very sure of yourself.
The abbot is too.
The abbot feels it's possible. That's something very different.
I believe firmly that it's so. Just as I believe we must be prepared to confront the forces of evil face to face. I thank God that you're here. You'll take care of it, won't you?
The only reason I came is to solve a mystery.
Oh!
Do you know all the details surrounding Anselmo?
Unfortunately, yes. I wouldn't have thought that such a beautiful and costly gift...
That's all for the moment. I must go. Perhaps we can continue our conversation later.
I'd be delighted to get on with it, Brother Leonardo.
It's locked. Martin?
What can I do for you, Brother Leonardo?
I must go. Perhaps we can continue our conversation later.
I'd be delighted to get on with it, Brother Leonardo.
Martin?
What can I do for you, Brother Leonardo?
Can we talk about Anselmo?
Anselmo? Oh, blessed Mother of God! Salve Regina, Mater Misericordiae, Vita dulcedo et spes nostra salve. Ad te clamamus exsulses filii Hevae. ante suspirarnos, gementes et fientes, in hac lacrimarum valle. Ea ergo advocata nostra, illos tuos misericordes oculos ad nos converte. Et Iesum benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis post hoc exilium ostende. O clemens, O pia, O dulcis Virgo Maria, ora pro nobis sancta Dei genitrix?
So that we are worthy of receiving Christ's promise.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. It's never wrong to appeal to our Virgin to shield us from evil, especially in these days of ours.
Perfectly understandable, brother. But it is my intention to fulfill the task the abbot entrusted me with, and that as quickly as possible, especially in these days of ours.
Yes, of course.
That's all for the moment. I must go. Perhaps we can continue our conversation later.
I'd be delighted to get on with it, Brother Leonardo.
It's locked. Come on, follow me. Behave yourself and don't touch a thing.
Yes, Master.
I hope the abbot considers having the roof redone. Otherwise it's going to collapse soon. Gravestones in bad condition. That's all I can find here, apart from cobwebs and dust. A cross on a gravestone. A cross on... That's better. And besides, I don't think I could move it all by myself. I don't see any clues. Looks like it wouldn't achieve anything. There's nothing there that could arouse my interest. The Duke of Sicard has already done enough for this church. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. Once again, a good day to you, brother.
Again? Do I know you?
But brother, I have an extremely urgent mission to fulfill.
More important than Clotilde? Have you taken a good look at her?
Yes, I'll take a look at her. And I don't want to offend you, but...
All right already. Whatever. So what can an old man do to help on a mission of such importance?
I'll let you work in peace. Thank you for your time.
All right, it doesn't matter. Poor Clotilde.
door is locked. The cells all look identical. The door is locked. It's locked. The brothers must be very grateful to the Madonna. It would be an arduous grind for them to carry water up onto these cliffs. That doesn't work. Come on, follow me. Behave yourself and don't touch a thing.
Yes, Master.
No. They're blank sheets. What an enormous collection of books! An incredible collection of books. Not even a trace of some evidence. There is nothing conspicuous. I don't think it's important. Saint Torquato, a bishop, may he rest in peace. It's locked. No one will be inside. I don't see anything special about it. I can't get to it from here. I don't think it's important.